how can men vet women better? Because, listen, full disclosure, I'm not a car guy. I don't have hobbies. I'm not doing rock climbing. I'm not going mountain climbing. I live in South Beach. I don't go surfing. I don't collect baseball cards. I like to do 3 things. I like to hang out with my homies. I like to make money and do shit. And I like to hang out with hot chicks. Period. End of story. You now know Saws. So we men have a weakness for pretty women, no doubt. Whether they're right for you or wrong for you, men have this weakness. This is how civilization continues to prevail, is because men have babies and children. So I guess my question when it comes to vetting women, what women should men steer clear of no matter what, especially in a long-term relationship? And if you do want a long-term relationship, what type of women should you pursue or run towards in your life? So who should you avoid and who should you go towards as a man?
I would recommend avoiding any of the women that have a load of red flags that aren't being worked on. So if you don't know what the red flags are, it's in my book. You don't have to get the book. You can opt into my email list and get it for free. Just go to my channel and it's there. Or maybe the admin team can put it below in the video. Sure. So that's really what you should be vetting for. But let's say, for example, she's the kind of gal that has like an addictive personality to shopping. And she realizes that she has a shopping addiction. She likes going and buying 3 lamps. She brings them home, tries them out beside the bedside table. They don't work out, so she has to return them. And this is what she does with her weekends. Well, if she recognizes that that's a problem and that she has an addictive personality and it takes care of her free time and she's doing something about it, that's good. Okay. It's a red flag that she's identified, but now she's taking ownership for it and she's doing something for it. Okay. So just having the red flag may not be a complete deal breaker. I mean, a deal breaker would be she's covered from head to toe in tattoos. Okay. There's not much that you can do about that, for example, but some of the red flags are fixable if they take ownership for it. The second part to that was you were saying what kind of women to invite into your life?
So like any girls with tattoos, high body counts, addictive personalities, shopaholics, materialistic. My favorite is high maintenance women. Stay the fuck away from those women, gentlemen. So
you
we
can't
know what to
handle
avoid.
me, Adam.
What's that?
You can't handle me, gals, right, Adam?
Maybe you're not
Those
man
ones?
enough for me, Richard. That whole deal. So we know who to avoid. What type of women should a man gravitate towards, or at least pull into their gravitational world?
Well, I think if you vet for the red flags, you're going to be left with a far better pool of women to choose from, right? And, then you want to look for women that are more agreeable. They're going to be a complement to your life. Like if you're a man on a purpose, you're on a mission, you're doing something, you're putting a dent in the universe. And if I text my girl and she's heading over and I say, hey, can you grab a bottle of wine, dinner will be ready, or, I got dinner ordered, it's going to be here at a certain time. And she picks up a bottle of wine, or she asks, which one do I want, sort of thing. Or like, she's compliant, like she's helpful, right? She sees that, laundry needs to be done. And she's, oh, okay, let me take care of that. I'll throw the load in the machine and give you a hand, sort of thing. Like women that are useful in your life are a far better choice than women that are like, well, I'm not going to do anything. I don't cook. Okay. To me, that would be a red flag, a woman that's not owning her feminine frame. There's a buddy of mine that I've known for a long time, and he calls these blue jobs and pink jobs. And he says one of the reasons why his marriage is so successful is his wife does the pink jobs and he does the blue jobs. She's not out cutting the grass. She's in the kitchen preparing dinner for the family while he cuts the grass, sort of thing, right? So, if you identify these more traditional roles that sort of serve with what we're interested in, what we're good at, then that's a woman that you might want to consider saying, oh, she looks like she might be good mother stock.
Yeah, I think, we're identifying, vetting women and identifying the type of women that you should steer clear of and the women that you should avoid versus the women that you should have in your life. The more and more I think about this kind of stuff, this is a financial podcast that really highlights how money affects dating, relationships, who you marry, all that fun stuff. The more and more I have these conversations with bright, philosophers like yourself, the more I realize that like the same terminology in money also applies to dating. As example, you want a woman in your life who is an asset, not a liability, right? And that's a lot of times what these red flags in women is. They create chaos in your life. They become a liability versus someone who's useful, willing to do the pink jobs, so to speak, while you can do the blue jobs. And she's an asset in your life.